Hello and welcome to the UK Gaming Calls Week 2, Day 1. It is, of course, the Tuesday the 24th, and we've got some sweet action for you tonight. Of course, our first matchup, 7 PM tonight, is going to be Barrage versus Impulse Gaming. And, well, to take us through the show, of course, is my name, Flakes, but also the ever so wonderful Alex on Spyfield. Alex, how you doing?
Hello. Alex on Spyfield, I love that. So, Impulse versus Barrage. If this wasn't if this map wasn't Mirage, I would have been leaning towards like what 16-14, 16-13, very close matchup here between these two teams. But Impulse, they've played a lot of Mirage this past week. When I first saw them play Mirage, it was versus Enemies in Disbelief, and they lost 16-5 or 16-6, I believe, and they got slaughtered. They went over the demo, they went over that map, and then they played versus Kaz in was it UKGT? Yeah, it was UKGT, not ESL.
It was UKGT 16-9. That was on the that was last week.
No,
I believe
that was one of them. So they played Mirage last week. They played Mirage 4 times versus Kaz. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I see the results now. 22-19 for one, and that's where Impulse took win. Then we're looking at another one where it was 16-9 as well. That was against Kaz.
And then they lost another close game, and then they lost very convincingly. So they went 2-2 in terms of maps versus Kaz. But initially, they played it very well. Once they had their changes after they lost Enemies Disbelief, they won in double overtime versus Kaz, and they had another convincing 16-9 win versus Kaz. And obviously, later on, Kaz did the exact same back to them. They went over the demo, they fixed their problems, and they won 2-0 versus them later on. But the fact still stands that Impulse Gaming, they've reformed their Mirage. They've played a lot of it, a lot of practice on this map. So if this wasn't Mirage, I'd be saying this is a very close matchup, but just because of the results we've been seeing them get, I would say 16-10, maybe 16-9, favoring Impulse on this first map.
Yeah, to say it simply, this is pretty much the one map that Impulse, or one of their best maps, or if not their best map. So it really is kind of almost the attitude of the world as the roster when it comes down to playing CS on Mirage. I would think as well, starting on that CT side, if they could just start off throwing a fish around, they can really start to rack up rounds nice and quickly. We've seen them take 6-0, 7-0s at times when they've been able to really gain this momentum. And it all comes down to form. That was something that we kind of did talk about a little bit just before we got started, Alex, when it comes down to Barrage, when it comes down to consistency.
Yeah.
The name Velox came up a fair bit in that regard.
Velox, I mean, he's known for his aim. His aim is unreal. When I used to play on Barrage for UK Masters Season 1, and whenever I played with him, I was always impressed at his mechanical skill, right? Very good at getting those flick headshots. I don't want to say similar to Scream, because Scream's like solely headshots, but very strong aim. The problem is how can you replicate that every single game, every single round? You need the brain to back that up, to put yourself into the right positions, to back up your aim. So every now and again he is a bit hit and miss. Wong, I would say, is that consistent fragger for me, probably the best player on the team, to be honest. And then obviously you look at Impulse Gaming, you're looking at Nuki and Ray1 and potentially Sam1 as well. But pistol round, 4 sets of armor, 1 kit, and double flashbang, not a smoke actually, very interesting. Should have an idea for that, and they do. Look at the position here on A.
Yeah, certainly glad they haven't opted for 4 kits. That would be a bit of a different CT side of this round, I think, for sure. But nonetheless, as you say, it's about time we kick things off for this first week, as the clock already beginning to wind its way down. Barrage, well and truly with a game plan, one that is pretty much dead set on taking connector control and splitting out on towards A, as they've lined themselves up with a push to come in from Palace as well. Cynic really going to be the man of the hour almost when it comes down to stopping this Palace push. Not only does he find the first, but he gets information on that second, as Jammy there to help. Finds one of his own back on towards Peto, and it's all seeming relatively easy at this point. As Impulse Gaming looking like they're just going to breeze over Barrage. Pretty much just take it right in their stride. Neto, the last man, 100 HP. Alex, how on earth is he going to worm his way out of this one?
Yeah, I don't think he can. 1 versus 4. Jammy James is low HP. I mean, fair play, try and take that $300. But Nuki there, the falling headshot will take down Neto. 1-0 in favor of Barrage. I mean, that counter setup they had there, maybe they've seen Barrage play Mirage before. Jesus. Maybe they've seen Barrage play Mirage before, that's why they went for the counter setup. But having that player there towards Firebox really did seal the deal. Cynic John finding that kill out of Palace. That meant there was no trade for the players that would come up connector. Round's pretty much done there. But very interesting to see 2 flashes on a kit there on Samuel playing towards B. It's very rare you see that. So maybe he's expecting a B contact play, chuck the flashes, allow the rotations to come in. Maybe it's that sort of play. But enough of that as the force spike comes in for the T side. Scout on Velox there. Very good at the Scout. I forgot to mention that actually. Along with Dancy, he's probably the 2 of the best Scout players I've seen. Going to be going towards the A ramp and around mid as well. I think he is mid actually with that Scout. So, oh no, it's ramp, sorry. Trying to play contact off of that Scout. And against them will be 3 rifles and 2 SMGs. Only 104 on Nuki, so this could be quite a weak or maybe exploitable buy here for Barrage.
Yeah, Yeah, it certainly does leave a window opportunity and a bit of a sour taste in the mouth of the CTs when it comes down to almost saying they've got a 100% shot at taking it. Instead, it looks like things could be a little bit more, well, harder to earn, should we say. The Tech9s and Co are beginning to get themselves ready to push out towards ramp. Neto up and towards Palace. Got his almost brother from another mother, you can say, pushing out towards ramp. Peto there with the Tech9 in hand. And here we go. Tech9 going to find one. Neto with the Deagle spamming on away as well. Cynic is going to find one in return. Actually, just shutting down that original Tech9 push. Neto picking up a double, actually, as he finds that pick onto a Jammy, meaning this site is willing to get into control. Neto with just a triple kill from him now, solely down to the Deagle plays. His team not finding a single frag aside from that. Shank just 2 HP, such a small amount, but look at him. He's holding these angles. Samwell knows full well that he's got a Deagle coming his direction. He doesn't want to face into it at all. The nerves are starting to kick on in as they just do not want to handle this. Ray going to find one with the M4, at least trying to bat them back and trade these blows. As another flash gone out, gets to drop the bomb, and that's huge for the CT side now. They've regained control, and Velox has his work cut out for him, but goes in face first with a Glock and still wins the duel.
Yep, at this point, you should try and get the bomb down.
He's not got time.
Yeah, he doesn't want to die. I know that he has got the time, but the money. The problem is, though, he anticipated to play a CT. He don't want to die after time, so fair play. Problem is, though, very, very good around there. Even the Barrage lost that round. They took 4... Wait, how did the last player lose his SMG? Did he drop it? Yeah, he did. Okay, so 4 players dying there, meaning 4 players having to reinvest. And Cynic John... Actually, no, he will buy up here. So again, 2 MP9s, 2 FAMASs, and the MP7 as well. The FAMASs are actually a lot harder to control than an M4 at range. It's so hard to spray with the FAMAS. It goes left, then right, then right, then left. It's so hard to do. I can't do it personally. That's why when you have them holding these long positions, it can get very tough.
Well, they say practice makes perfect. It seems like Nuki is on the ball with that one as he finds himself a double kill fairly comfortably. Cynic going to find just another, and the FAMAS spray as well. Coming up trumps right now for Impulse. They have lost 2 in the making, though, which is a little bit rough, and certainly paints them in a bit of a worse situation. But Cynic with just another one towards Neto eventually is going to close this round down. Barrage, one common trend for them has been this economic impact they've been able to have, of course, in this round. What they limited was full buy potential, but after time, that kind of economic impact does begin to fade away. Like going into this next round, we're still going to see fairly comfortable M4, still going to see a lot of this utility, and AWP if they so choose. So it's not necessarily as impactful. The biggest thing is Barrage needing to respond in this round themselves now that they're on their own buy, and we get to see, most notably, Wong on his own AWP.
Yeah, look at the buy though. So all the players are bought up, and it's 3.8k on Cynic John and 1.8k on Nuki. So one win here from Barrage could definitely alter the economy and potentially put them on eco. We could be seeing a 3-2 lead if they do take this one. Nuki holding for the short push. Good read here. Wong does fall. Now already 1 minute 30 on the clock. We see the man advantage in favor of Impulse. Very strange to see the jump through the smoke with no flashbang as well. So just going for the Hail Mary play, jumping through a smoke. Definitely very risky, and the risk does not pay off.
You have to give it to them in terms of the read as well, just to hold the angle with the AWP instead of going for that aggressive mid-peak.
It's quite common.
It's simple things, but it's good.
Oh, the timing there.
Yeah, getting away with it by the skin of his teeth. Gets to back off and decide, you know what, maybe I want to get myself back into jungle, go towards window. Would be nice to actually see him get in towards that window angle and just look back towards short, but also make sure ladder room isn't contested too hard, as of course we can see Velox is almost kind of toying with the idea of taking that fight. As Nuki is going to get tagged on down and eventually punished through the wooden fencing, meaning that Neto gets himself not only one, but potential for just a little bit more. But unfortunately, Ray is going to drop them all dead. Looks for the triple kill. Perhaps getting a bit too greedy with that one. Shanked and Pedo going to combine, taking control of the B site now, with the bomb soon to follow. 2 versus 2 on the cards now. They have time to work with the CTs. They don't need to rush into this retake. And they do have a whole lot of flashes. So certainly a blinding affair, but they're pushing out without using a single one of them. Use your utility, boys. As Jammy is going to find one, but it pits Cynic. 1 versus 1. Shanked just 28 HP. Cynic is holding an angle, being ever so patient in his approach. Doesn't want to overface this one. But Shanked is playing the time, and he is almost reading Cynic like a book.
Yep.
And there you have it.
3k there for Shanked, winning that with 6 HP. And the money on the side of the CTs. They're going to have to force this. Buy an AWP, potentially on Cynic. AWP, no armor. Glass cannon towards the mid. Expect a face from the T's, potentially. Or you can buy an M4 and buy 4 nades. And actually, believe they're going to drop pistols. Wow, so they will be going for the save here. This might actually be a double save, unless someone wants to go to mag 7 towards B, potentially. And he is a B player, so that's not the end of the world. Shank there dropping a souvenir Fallout Walling SG Krieger. Actually a nice skin, but nice skin, not quite a nice gun though. We saw Magic Spoy versus Hellraisers bring it out just, a few hours ago at the major, so maybe that's where the inspiration came from. But nevertheless, it will be the full eco for Impulse Gaming. And as I mentioned before, Barrage win that one round, and they're going to get 3-1, making it 3-2 here. And that buy coming up for Impulse Gaming might actually be quite weak as well, so there's potential here for Barrage to take the lead if they do opt for going 4-3. 5 players still alive here, so the money is building for Barrage, and the SMG's landing kills as well, even though the players don't have a lot of money at the moment. Once the bomb goes off and they granted that 3,000. Oh, Velox here might get caught off guard. There's a player behind him. Knife out. Okay, then someone does eventually take him down. So 2 kills here from the full eco of the CT side, and Ray1 can actually save this SSG and drop that over to Samuel. Or someone can even keep the UMP here, so not the end of the world for an eco here. But yeah, the Krieger's out of the hands. Quite unfortunate, actually.
Yeah, a bit disappointing, but as you mentioned, and this is actually a very, very big point. It's all about longevity for Impulse when they come into this next buy, and unfortunately, they're still going to be licking their wounds, right? They're not going to have that, great, perfect buy, and it's going to be curious to see if they can even opt for an AWP. And just taking a quick glance at their economy, the answer to that one has already followed on through. It's going to be a no. So it's going to be Rifles if they choose to invest anything at all in this round, and that's tough.
Tough call it is. If they go for the eco, they can buy 8 She-Nades here. They will go for the quasi buy. They're going for the quasi buy, but they're not really doing anything with it. They're still playing a default with pistols. And no armor there, just a deagle on Nuki. He will be buying the AWP into the next buy round with the AWP. Fast underpass aggression here from the T's towards mid. Velox there spotting out Nuki. Molotov comes in, he does fall. They need to have players stay alive here. They need to build their bank and build their economy. Nice shot there from Wong. And did he yeah, he must have rebought that. Did he rebuy that? Because Ray1 took it out of his hands. So he's actually rebought that Krieger. So potentially there's a game plan here. I'm trying to think. We saw Magic's Boy take it towards Biats and hold for the jump peak with it. I'm trying to think. Where else could you go with the Krieger? A contact, the headshot angle when you're looking towards default, when you're pushing out rampant T. That's not too bad. Maybe it's got, a place in the meta. Who knows? But what we do now is the buy from the CT side. Orb for Nuki will go towards mid. Is he going to play aggressive, or is he going to keep it safe how he has been playing before? Just play for the information. Knows they can't go shot, but gives the information to his teammate that they can go connector. Or will he go for that mid peek? Will he try and peek towards connector and get them as they push out mid?
I think the big thing is just seeing something different, right? We don't want to see them just play like, the same old style. We see that's what the problem with the Fuzzy Buy, right? They just try to do the same old. And Barrage, they're happy to just run into this. They're getting all of the fights, and they're all favoring them. Look at Wong just pushing him. He's being an absolute monster with this. Gets himself a double kill, easy headshots. He's having the time of his life. Ray is going to respond, gets himself a pick, and fairness to them, look at the amount of damage that's been done to the side of Barrage. But to be honest, Snods, getting to 3 HP, getting themselves to 1 HP, nobody cares. It's still Samuel and Ray left in a 2 versus 4. They're still pushing it out. They aren't able to find a pick on towards Velox. He's going to find a headshot on towards Samuel, and every single piece is falling into place. Barrage, off the back of what feels like just an SSG, and Velox as well, are making it work. This is ridiculous.
I know, I mean, no nades, just a simple contact play. I don't want to say scrim out a ramp. It wasn't as really a scrimmy play. Just pushed out. Thing is as well, right? If you make that call, and that Impulse Gaming force bot, and they won't have Molotovs, they won't have smokes, well not really smokes, but they won't have Molotovs or flashes as counter nades, fair play, I do like that call. The fact that they went for a quasi buy when, they had the 4-round bonus means these guys, they have mollies, they have flashbangs as the counter nades. Yeah, you still go for that. Yeah, it works.
Confidence, if you ask me.
It worked, but sometimes, what works sometimes isn't the right call. I mean, is that repeatable versus potentially another team? I don't know. The fact that Impulse Gaming there definitely caught with their trousers down, and Wong, yeah.
So, I love your trail of thought on that, right? Because as much as it may be a bit rough to say, okay, it works, but is that the right play? I think the biggest thing is instead of looking if that's the right play or not and whether it's repeatable, is just to look to the fact that they were able to pick up a round and look at kind of what they bought themselves. They bought themselves time to play with. Because, one thing we mentioned right at the start, right, was that we didn't want to see Impulse Gaming get six rounds in a row back-to-back and get that early momentum. So Barrage, off this creek, off of these headshots they're finding, keeping it clean now and doing almost a bit of an opposite affair. They're at 4-3. Impulse haven't been able to do anything at all in this round either. We're looking at Nuki almost fighting for survival with a P250 in his back pocket. Ray will be really the only man who can even pretend to have an impact, and that's whether he is able to even find one angle. And well, he's not. Velox is just going to pop off and gets a double kill. So it's all standard outcomes. And I think Barrage just feeling like they can do anything they want, feeling like they can run anywhere in the map, and they're winning all of these duels. It's huge for them right now because Impulse Gaming, they're not responding. They're not being proactive with their utility. They're not being proactive with their setups. They're still doing the same old default style that they played in that quasi play. Summit's got a kick.
Yeah, for sure. Still, though, full utility now for the CT side. Just Nuki with that Molotov and an H-sheet. Doesn't really need it, though. Playing towards connector now. Maybe going for that fast peek or fast kill towards mid. Looking like Barrage won't give it up. 4 players towards B-apps. B contact. Looking like it's on the cards. And actually, that smoke and flash towards mid pulls out that rotation from B short. They could go for a contact B now if they... Oh, he dropped the bomb. Does that give a sound cue? I don't think the CT's heard it, so... Bomb was dropped towards apps. Fortunately, those dropped too far back. The CTs don't hear that. Now the push comes. They spot it.
And Samuel has the information, gets to use that Molotov, which is going to be absolutely crucial in terms of early damage, and also just allowing Samuel to try and play around his lip. But Wong isn't quite going to give it up. Eventually, his head is going to be found, though. Neto now looking to find himself that quick trade, but isn't going to have the vision on where Samuel is hiding as he dances around the pillar, looking to really pull off the tango at this point. But look at Nuki coming in from behind now. He's in market, finds himself just one for his troubles. Neto still fighting to respond, but it's going to be a 2 versus 4. Nuki just another in towards Shanked, nailing him in the coffin, and, well, Shanked is just going to end it all as he burns away his teammate.
Yeah, Nuki there making the right play. You see many other AWPers play very passive towards kitchen. They're so scared to push out onto site. Nuki finds the first frag, jumps out of the door there, goes towards Rattlesnake and peeks towards balcony. It's very rare you see other AWPers go for that. Just because many of the AWPers, they want to play kitchen, they want to play for retake, they want to play nice and safe. But, I mean, fair enough, it was a 4 versus 2, could have died there and potentially gave the round up. But if that was a 4 versus 4 and there was more of those T players alive, that was definitely the right play for him to make there. So, good aggressive showing there from Nuki. Even though he hasn't really been showing it towards mid, he does show it there towards the B bomb site. Still, though, another buy from the CT side. Mag 7 or somewhere towards B, so the Mag 7 is in play towards somewhere where it can be utilised properly. And again, the money is still fairly low on Impulse Gaming side. If they lose this round, Barrage could potentially go 7-4 up. Wong there the first, making it 5 versus 4.
Samuel just holding ever so patiently over towards the B side, but that's not where the action is. He's just having to almost say, okay, and perhaps I need to get on this quick action rotate, but a shotgun in that sort of circumstance always going to be rough, as Cynic's toying with the idea of going aggressive is going to get that pick and shot down Wong, which actually is a pretty big impact frag in itself. Sort of really just minimalizing what that AWP can do in the kind of latter end of the round. But then there's the problem, the tough reality, that the CT side is still losing all of their manpower no matter what they think. Samuel, he's the only guy left. He is their final pillar, the final frontier. And he's only got an AWP either, which, yes, he can hold for these picks. He can look for these shots. But where's the resolution in that, Snods? That there isn't much clutch potential for him. It's all about staying alive at this point, and he's going to play right into the hands of Peto. He picks him up, and Barrage really upping their game, if I'm honest. It does feel like they really are just countering it, and there's a very valid point that has been made, which is, well, Barrage just going super aggressive and super almost with the attitude of, hold my beer for me, mate, for a second. I've got this, as they just charge on forward at every single angle and hitting all their shots.
Yeah, you mentioned what can someone do there with the AWP, and the thing is, you can go for exit frags, but look at the money on the T side. 11,000 there on Velox. 6,000, 2 other players as well, so it's not as if you can do economic damage there. Nuki through the smoke. Fair play, mate. Fair play. Do it on land. 6th of February. But as I mentioned there, the money is still so strong on Barrage's side. Velox there killing Nuki will make it 4 versus 4. Impulse Gaming, I mentioned before, they have very strong CT sides, especially versus Kaz, is how they took it previously. Strong CT sides and weak T sides. Versus Enemies of Disbelief, when I first watched them play, they had 4 rounds on their T side. And they looked very shaky. So the fact they've only got 4 rounds here, and we're on the 11th one right now, and it's looking like it's going to go 7-4. This is looking very worrying if you are an Impulse fan.
For sure, of course, at least they're able to do a little bit with these pistols and, well, try and perhaps push in on towards this B site. But Velox eventually looking to get this plant, and once he does that, I think hopes does rapidly begin to dwindle. They are just going to be holding yet again for these exit frags, and I think the pistols, they're great, and it's kind of a what you've got at the end of the day. You have to try and fuse what you've got in your armory, but it's not really a positive point, is it? I think I'm looking at kind of a 10-5 at this point, hopefully a 9-6, but getting bleaker and bleaker by the second. And I kind of do want to ask you, we've really been stressing on them not playing any defaults and doing something different and perhaps trying to counter the quick-paced confidence from Barrage, but what does that actually mean? Where's the end goal for them, and what do they change, Snods?
What do they change? Well, I mean, the thing that's happened so far this game is the fact that Barrage keep resetting the money of Impulse. Impulse win a round, they lose it instantly, and they're losing it based off stupid plays. Wong finding 2 frags there from Palace with an AWP. That's just not acceptable. If the first player dies, that's fair enough, right? Fool me once, fool me twice. Twice there. Nuki finds a kill through the smoke towards mid. Barrage, they went for that same contact A approach I mentioned before, and I mentioned it wasn't really the best call sometimes when the CTs have utility and the counter-nades to back it up, but no counter-nades there, just aim. They managed to hold off the push here from Barrage. Nuki there, the second for himself this round. Wong in the 1 versus 3.
Yeah, it's that repetition that's come back to haunt them this time around. Barrage, you may well be hitting these shots, but if you do the same thing over and over again, eventually, it does become a bit easier for Impulse to handle it, which is exactly what they've done this time around, right? Nuki getting the double kill with the AWP. Wong going to try and keep it competitive, in the immediate future at least, as he does find the pick on towards Samuel, but Nuki tots it up with a triple kill for him all in all in that round and walks away happy as ever as he struts his stuff. But what I want to kind of touch on off the back of that is that, okay, so Barrage know that they can't necessarily go for this same old A push. But are they going to be able to just keep on going with these one-hit wonders and just still ply on through, or are we starting to see Barrage have to withdraw from this kind of mechanism of just pushing everything and actually play to a standard T side?
Well, I actually like what they're doing right now, going for the contact B play, and actually Samuel there with no nades. Just a FAMAS will go 1 for 1, and that's really not what you want. Neto getting the trade frag there, staying at full HP, and Samuel is 13 HP with 0 utility and just a FAMAS to his name. We will have Nuki though rotate towards kitchen and hold his B-apps though. Not the end of the world. Then again, Barrage, they should be expecting the rotation here, and they can go back towards underpass, go back towards mid, and go for an A split here, anticipating a heavy stack towards B. Or even a split defense here. 2-2 CT setup now for Impulse. Definitely an exploitable mid here, but you can see Nuki starting to move, starting to get a bit fishy here. Thinking, getting a bit weird here. No steps towards B, nothing. I believe that's Neto there, pushing towards B, trying to keep... Yeah, Nuki staying towards B, and the bomb is going towards A. And you can see now as well, St. John is starting to leave ramp and going towards stairs. This could end very badly for Impulse.
I actually like this, from Impulse, though, overall. As much as it may be bad in terms of the rotations and the kind of ladder read they've got, bear in mind that Barrage, aren't necessarily just going balls to the wall, rushing everything 24/7. We've gone back to a standard T-side default almost now, where they're trying to work these angles. Look at Velok's style of play. He's just going to try and work their way out through ramp. Nice and tactical, actually, and much more kind of what you'd expect of a standard T-side. It does make things a little bit harder for them to handle and make things prone to a CT side getting these picks. But at the same time, leaves you a window of opportunity. Jammy is popping off right now. He's finding himself a return frag left, right, and center. Samuel holding in towards connector, but just as we kind of talked about, once Impulse get Barrage to play the way they want them to, should I say, Impulse still feel like they have that upper hand even when it seems pretty bleak. Because the way we kind of talked about that round and the way you portrayed their rotates made the pitch look pretty kind of dark and dangerous for the CT side.
Yep.
But when you kind of analyze the way they're playing and you go back to the comps we made right at the start, then that kind of yet again is another role reversal.
Yep, Cynic Sean playing towards Sandwich there. They did not expect a player to be there that late into the round. He got that frag, he kept the attention of Neto. That allowed Jammy from underneath balcony to swing wide, take Neto down, go up on top of the balcony, and then have, ring around the roads to that play. And actually, Samuel finding 2 flags there towards the B site. Nuki and Cynic John chime in too. We're potentially looking at 7-7, and the money on the T side is very, very bleak. So, could definitely be 8-7. But is 8-7 enough? But to mention that previous round, yeah. Barrage getting very strange with the rotates. The bomb went back towards B for a second there in T-spawn, then it went back towards A. You had a player going towards B trying to keep the rotation. It worked, but I just don't think Barrage played it fast enough. And Velok's here finding 2 very quick headshots. But at this point, I think he needs to save, really, but the problem is he can't at 2 HP and being trapped as well from these players. Would have to be a huge blunder here from Impulse to give up this round.
Yeah, I think he has no choice but to play for this round, right? The problem with that is Jammy's angle. He's holding it nice and precariously, just looking up on towards that exit, and the minute he peeks is the minute he ends. And we get to see a pause there, which is actually pretty interesting. And I like your off the back of that, right? Because you wouldn't expect to see a pause in the final round. So I'm certainly leaning towards this being of a technical nature, but if it's of a tactical nature,
yeah, instant lag.
That could be different, but it is going to be technical. So as expected, there's nothing kind of next level snuds. We can breathe for a second, but hey, it does help us, right? And it does give you an opportunity to kind of lay it into us on what's going on, why we're at a 7-7, and one of the big things is who gets the most value right now of taking this to 8-7? Because yes, you have your standard CS meta where you'd kind of want to see that favored CT side perhaps try and edge it ahead and get themselves that further for more rounds. But in the context of these two teams, who does it favor?
Well, I mean, context, speaking just on context, Impulse Gaming typically are very strong on their CT side. I mentioned that a billion times, so I'm not going to go over that again. What I am going to go over is the fact that Impulse won the pistol round, and they got the two subsequent rounds following that. 3 rounds, just off the precipice of the pistol, means that in terms of gun rounds, Barrage here sitting very comfortable at 7, and Impulse on 4. So Impulse Gaming on their T side, they're going to need that pistol if they want a chance of taking it. Neto going 1 for 1. That's what you want on your T side. This allows the T players to push out. And actually, Shank there throwing that molly will mean Cynic John is alone towards Palace. And now, oh, look at them all funneled though. This could end very badly for Barrage.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. Once they get kind of forced into having to do what is a bit of a half-assed execute. Well, it's just a shooting range for them at this point. He's more than happy just to keep on tapping, right? Peto almost certainly should have been able to find that with the Tech 9, but he falls rather short on. It's just a very bland storyline for Barrage. The huge turning point was once Impulse Gaming were able to adapt and actually change away from just playing defaults. Then they started to improve, and then they started to charge on ahead, and they get that 8-7 on their CT side. So at least we get one thing to say, which, as you mentioned, the CT side is where you kind of expect them to go huge. But now we get the swap. Now Impulse have to play that T side, and I don't necessarily think it's going to be as aggressive and as confident as Barrage have been, but at the same time, I do want to see kind of mid-control. I do want to see some actual short smokes and flashes like that, because I think that was another weak point for Barrage, where they were going aggressive quite a lot, but they actually didn't really use a whole lot of flashes.
Sorry, just to complete off tangent. Have you seen that clip of Rattlesnake in a Source tournament versus a Finnish team, where he kept getting killed through a smoke and his reaction?
I haven't, though, but I'm guessing I know where you
How many times can that guy keep... Oh, I can't swear on stream, can I? Let's just put it this way. Nuki right now hitting all these crazy... I believe he's got, what, 3 kills through a smoke already in one half? 2 with an AWP through a smoke. And then 1, he body tagged someone through the mid-smoke, you know, across mid, twice. It wasn't a headshot through the smoke, it was 2 body shots through the mid-smoke. So, pretty mental play coming from Nuki. 16 kills for him. And leading into this T side, they're definitely going to be needing that. Whatever Nuki has, they're going to be needing it. Because Barrage here, if they take this pistol, this could go 10-8. And at that point, I'm really favouring Barrage. When initially, I thought Impulse would be taking it away on their CT side. But in terms of pistols, a very strange one here. 5 players towards ramp. No one going towards Palace. But this could work as there's a mid-push from Barrage.
Yeah, we do see this a lot from the Impulse boys, though, and actually worked against Kaz, I believe. So, I'm not going to doubt it. They get that nade dunk on towards Pedo, which already is that first pick, and they see a lot of value in their utility usage as a lineup. So, that's certainly showing. But Velox playing right on the cusp of that smoke does get himself 1 in return, so brings it back to a 4 versus 4. A healthy standpoint for a CT side, but notice how they're all pushing from one pretty much funnel point, which gives the information all to the terrorists now as they look to completely flank them in from all of these angles, and it is just a chicken shoot for them. Nuki gonna cut them all down, a triple kill for him. Cynic finding one of his own on towards Velox. Easy as ever, and the big thing about that strategy, right, is they use that nade to get that first pick, which, you know, something we've seen them do a fair bit in practice at least. After they get that first pick, then charge in towards CT, they get jungle as well, and they have all of this control, which means that the minute we see Barrage actually push in through connector, they get themselves to that kind of middle portion of the site, I guess you can say, just opposite sandwich.
Yep.
Then they just strangle them, because Barrage, where do they look on that? Do they fight jungle, do they fight CT, or do they fight ramp?
It's actually my bad. I got the teams mixed up there. I thought Barrage was on the T side for some reason, but very strange pistol there. 3 players pushing top mid. I don't know how I feel about that. You isolate the player towards A, and what happens? They go, as you mentioned before, towards CT, and at that point, it's very hard for you to win that round rotating in from connector, as Nuki proved there. As all those CTs, they rotated in, but Nuki towards jungle. It's almost as if the roles were reversed, you know. Usually you see the CT play of the USP watching that cross, but instead it was the Glock in hand for Nuki. Both pistols as well going in favor of Impulse, and that gives you a very high chance of taking a best of 1. If Impulse can get another 2 rounds as they did previously, we could be seeing 6 rounds just based off of the fact of the pistol round wins. First flash goes in, they have control of the B apps and B apartments. Now they shall push B.
And looking for these early shots, going very, very up close and personal with these SMGs, and kind of like that, it really does play into their hands. Samuel with a longer battles over towards mid as he finds 1 in return, looking to really bat this one home now as he finds himself a triple kill, just pretty much batting out of the park. Velox to 69 HP is the last man standing with a scout, and well, that's really all he's going to be doing, filling the role of a scout. He's going to get all of the information and then go try and report it back to his team. But little does he know, when he arrives back, well, he's just going to find them all dead on the floor. So pretty bleak ending for him, and unfortunately sad scenes overall for the Barrage side when it comes down to the first couple of rounds in the second half. But it's not over just yet, it's not, is it? It's still a couple of buy rounds away, and I think that's going to be the biggest thing, seeing what Barrage can do when they get onto their buy rounds. But the immediate future still just dictates pistols.
Yeah, we'll be seeing the full eco here. Impulse getting to 11. And now this is starting to shape up like the predictions we had previously. 16-10 or 16-9, where Barrage, if they lose the first gun round here and it goes to 13-7, at that point it really is almost sealed in the deal there for Impulse Gaming. Barrage going again towards mid of their pistols, but without a flashbang, you're not going to win the upfront Angel with, you know, no armor and a USP. You need a flashbang. Have 3 players group towards connector. Have that player go window, pop flash mid, or pop flash over the top of connector, and peek like that instead of just, you know, walking to your death like a slaughterhouse. But Wong on the AWP actually. Wow. I did not expect that. I mean, I know it's AWPing T side, but definitely interesting to see Wong AWPing on the CT side as well. Is he going towards a mid? I can't see, my res is too low. Can you see if he's towards mid right now on the radar?
Yeah, he's actually sitting dead set in mid window, staring
Wow.
right towards the eyes of Cynic. He's almost got his crosshair lined up on his forehead, searching for that shot, but unfortunately he's been given no room to breathe at all just yet. Nothing is facing him, and Velox is bearing down towards underpass as well. So I do like this from Barrage. It's a lot more presence towards mid, right? So they've tried to almost run with the idea of, you know, patching the holes in their sinking ship. But Impulse, they're just going to hit somewhere else. They've decided, you know what, okay, we've used mid. We've used and abused it. That's over now. Let's just perhaps try and work A, which, you know, we've seen the early presence come in from Nuki and Stanwell. They've got a little bit of jammy over towards B as well, and they're all just acting as these feelers. They're all seeing, okay, you know, who's going to nibble at this? Who's going to bite on a way in? Where they get the most kind of reception, they're actually going to go to the opposite direction. So they got a lot of shots coming from Peto, so they've decided, actually, you know what? The best chance for us is an A execute. And why not, to be honest?
Well, the problem is, though, Barrage, look at the way they're playing towards stairs and towards CT. They are playing retake, so good read here. But the problem is they do not have the nades sufficient enough for a retake, and you will see that player push towards triple boxes.
Tank just going to hold this angle, and that is beautiful play from him because he gets that first pick. Unfortunately, unable to find a second, though. Samuel is going to respond, and look at Wong through the smoke like a madman as he cuts down Ray. Velox trying to find himself just another on towards Samuel. Almost like a knife slicing through warm butter. They make it through the other side. Cynic going to push on towards stairs, gets to punish Velox nice and easy. Nuki backward to respond on towards Wong. And Nuki is just making sweet, sweet work with the Barrage boys. I think this is an individual highlight. He is the MVP of this first map by far. 25-9.
25-9. Wow. Yeah. Very stellar performance here from Nuki. I mean, I said he was the star of this team, but it feels like he is definitely a caliber above the rest of his teammates. How long until we see Nuki go into one of these tier 1 UKGT teams, top 3 teams? Because there's people watching right now. He's definitely hitting some very, very, I don't want to say fishy shots, but very crisp shots, right? Very good in the afterplant as well. Very good at, I think one of the weaknesses is the fact that towards the early portion of the map, he plays very passive. Like right now, just holding. That's not, you know, a bad thing, especially when they're playing versus pistols. But on their CT side, he didn't really have much impact at the start of the round. We didn't see him going towards pallets for the peaks. We didn't see him going towards B-apps and pushing B-apps. He went mid-window connector every single round, and he held for the short push every round. So that's the only, you know, thing I can critique about him. In his retakes, he's playing very well. In his afterplants, he's playing very well. In his pistol and rifle rounds, he's got good aim. A very diverse player and a very strong player at that. So definitely going to be seeing a lot more of Nuki, going forward. And yeah, where is he from again? He's from same place as Dom and Hype. That's Lithuania, right?
Yeah, I believe it's Lithuania. If he's from the same place as Dom and Hype, then it is
Yeah,
Lithuania.
yeah. He's from... Fun fact. About how long ago was it? About 6 months ago, Dom told me this. He was meant to be on a team with Nuki actually, and back then Nuki had a different name as well. But for some reason Nuki went to play with some Lithuanians. They were going to form a Lithuanian team. But Dom went to go play UKCS, and then Nuki went to play Lithuanian. Nuki had a different name back then. He changed his name, and now he's playing in UKCS. So, bit of history there from the player. Would have been nice to see Dom, a rising talent, and Nuki as well. Definitely another rising star. So that could have been quite a prevalent team.
Yeah, and I think Nuki's rise really is going to be quite prevalent now, and I'm expecting the next couple of months to be really solid for him, providing he can kind of hold it together and keep putting up these same kind of level of performances. But nonetheless, let's bring it back to the action at hand, because we've glossed over the pistols, which is rightly so. It's always going to be the fair position. But Barrage, they're back on a buy, and they're starting off strong. Velox digs out a foothold, the trench that is underpass, as he finds that initial pick on towards Samwell. Jammy is still somewhat alive, but 12 HP. Oh, depends on your definition of still standing, but he does get to bite into connector off the back of a very well-placed pop flash, and that gives him the frag on towards Velox, leaving Neto now kind of with a whole lot to clean up towards short, but he's in a crossfire as well towards connector. So if that push comes in, we can expect to see trades back and forth, but it will favor the CT side, which is why Impulse have withdrawn from the situation. They know what's up. They've got the read, but the concern for them is they've only got 50 seconds on the clock now to make those readjustments in mid. Well, that's surely not going to be a worthwhile avenue for them now.
Velox there, overstaying his welcome. You see Config play connector as well, but he always smokes out. As soon as the smoke fades, he pulls back. Velox getting caught, and Nuki might find this play towards stairs as well. Hits the flick shot. Wong falls, opening towards A bomb site. But the problem is Neto is here. Towards me, shot taps down, and the bomb is down as well. 25 seconds on the clock, so this bomb has to move fast. It needs to get planted. There's only one player towards the A bomb site.
All he has to do is drop the bomb though, and he's going to line them both up, gets himself a double kill, goes for the triple, and he takes it all home for the team. A triple kill from Shank, a huge performance from him. And that is right there, a huge lesson in Counter-Strike to everyone at home watching right now, Snods, because it comes down to patience. You sit tight, you rely on your team's communication, you rely on that network of your team. Just sit there and hold it together, and then when things fall into place, you're there to do your job. And for him, that was getting that 3K, and he does it absolutely perfectly. And it gives them at least something to play with, a fighting chance now to bring this one back, as they have got an interesting composition on their buy. An Org for Wong, clearly a fan of the different weapons, should we say. I think the easiest way to sum that one up
there
is.
we go.
But you know what? If it works, it works.
Is he mid again as well with an Org?
Yeah,
Here he is.
taking that fight with a scope. Oh, look at Shank though. He's doing the work over towards Ram. The double kill for him,
Oh
and another
my.
triple, dropping this buy round completely off the face of the earth. As Velox gonna just help him out by covering up his shadow, and then Shank gonna go even further aggressive on towards Ramp. And well, here's a factor day for you, Snarls. Just another to add to that one. Didn't know Barrage eSports CT side was pretty much their T side.
Shanked, the first half, had 4 or 5 kills. And he's already made more than that. 2 rounds on his CT side. Shanked, he's got good aim. I want to say it's more like a cement. Oh, okay. Chill. But not cement, what's the word I'm looking for? I like the
He's
cement
the anchor
blocker.
right now
Yeah,
that's holding
anchor,
them
that's
together.
the word I'm thinking of. Yeah, on his T side, he's not very mobile. Doesn't quite get a lot of work done, but on his CT side, you put him in a spot and he will hold that spot until the cows come home. And he got a 3K in the first round and a 4K there, that one. 7 frags, it's more kills than he had in the first half of his T side. Wong with the AWP, changing it up now, going towards connector. Smart play there as he was getting caught towards mid window. 3 versus 5, this is the eco though from Impulse Gaming. This will make it 13-10. Money on the side of Barrage. If they can keep as many players alive as possible, they definitely have a fighting chance to take this. Nuki as well towards window, got boosted here I believe. If one of those players towards B shot walk into his crosshair, they could get their face torn off.
Could get their face torn off, but I think I'm looking at almost, longevity yet again, and unfortunately it's not, I'm not quite a believer, and well, there you have it. It is going to be all of these nails just crushing onto the body to Impulse Gaming. They aren't able to achieve anything at all with these pistols, as almost you could say standard. That means that we do have some more time bought for Barrage, as they are going to lose their coach in the process. Power deciding, you know what, I'm out of this, boys. It's all good. I'm gonna leave now.
Yeah, I'm dipping.
But yeah, I kind of want to go back to the scoreboard actually and kind of reference that right now, because we saw 5 rounds in a row for Impulse Gaming, including that pistol round on the second half. Barrage finally starting to wake up and they get themselves this the previous 3 that we've seen. But this is about them building up a big stint, and a big part of that is going to be Shanked. And he goes aggressive in this round, and what a great start. Gets that pick on towards Jammy.
Yeah, very well played there. Double push towards B, and they've already got players on site. The problem is Neto's caught off guard. But towards under balcony, Velox finds 2 frags. Shanked as well from Palace finds another one. Wong through the smoke will find that final kill. I mentioned it before. Impulse Gaming on their T side. I don't want to say it's a mess, but it's definitely very different from their CT side. 13 rounds though. How did they get there? They won both pistols, that's 6. They won the first rifle round. That gave them what is it, 12th round, and then obviously versus the Eco, they did find the 13th. But Barrage, as soon as they had their foot in the door with their rifles, they are managing to claw this one back slowly, and now it's Impulse on Eco, and not Barrage. Velox and Wong, good hold here towards mid-net as well, pushes. 4 players staying alive, I hope anyway. Yep, Shanky seals the deal. 4 players staying alive. The money and the bank is building. 15k now on Prezi. Prezi, well, his name's Peto right now. But Prezi being the IGL for this team, definitely showing some strong prowess on the CT side. You mentioned, but they play towards the B-apps, so the A apartments there. You've got a UMP and a rifle and a lack of utility, and they abuse that by having the push towards Palace, even if they go 1-for-1 there. As long as they control that portion of the map and they don't give it up and they have the map control, that's worth it in their eyes. And Nuki finding the opening towards B. The problem is he hasn't quite got the teammates to back him up here. Can he get any more? Almost hits that flick.
You know what? He doesn't need them though. It's not. He's on his own. He's a one-man army, a Swiss Army knife, dropping them all dead as he gets himself that initial double kill. Nesso is going to find himself on a bit of a higher top pinnacle as he finds himself one back on towards Cynic, but the numbers still favour this T side. They're still on the site as well. And it means that they have to go for a 2-pronged attack. Marketplace and short now. On paper, that's a pretty solid retake, right? They're going to go do some damage with some frag grenades. It's only a scraping, but damage is damage at the end of the day, and they're going to look for Shank to get that pick on towards Nuki, but it's all but tagging. But Nuki's going to face on wide, and that gives Samuel an opportunity to find one of his own as well. The trading affair, Ray placing close. He peeks back out on towards Shankton. This is madness, but yet again, it's still favouring one team. Impulse Gaming, they've been struggling to win the buys. I would say that Barrage have been winning actually more buy rounds all in all when you exclude the pistol rounds. But when it comes down to this circumstance, Impulse Gaming holding this site, Barrage can't even get close. Velox, he's the last man remaining, has a flash dropped at his feet, is going to dodge it, and that enables him to at least find one frag on towards Ray, but, well, it is just that, one frag, not a round win. Barrage, they started to build up a very healthy stint in their comeback. I think it was, you know, a pretty, and yeah, 5 rounds in a row, so identical to Impulse Gaming start, and Barrage didn't even have that pistol. The difference is Impulse Gaming now have shut them down. They've pushed them back and said, you know what, we're still here. We can still do work on these buy rounds after all.
Yeah, and talking about buy rounds, if Barrage can take this one, the money on Impulse's side, only one playing staying alive there, making it a very costly investment. Money very low, and they've already got the one-man lead as well. The Wong finds that kill towards mid. A lot of pressure here. If Barrage take this 13-14, Impulse on another eco. This is going to go to 14-14 right down to the wire. And at 14-14, it's anyone's game. And this, well, if it goes to 14-14, Barrage having a much stronger CT side, I reckon this could definitely end 16-14 in favour of Barrage. But they need to close out this round. They've got the man lead. Don't play aggressive. Don't play anxious where you don't need to. Mirage is a map where you can have good retakes. You don't need to play for information here. You don't need to give away your life. It's okay to play retake. And Shankton playing passive will have someone walk into his crosshair.
Wong taking a whole lot of damage in the process, though. He's knocked down to just 12 HP, but you mentioned a very, very key point, which is Barrage right now, they've extenuated control on towards the side of Impulse Gaming. They've really got them kind of almost playing like a puppet. They've got that one-man advantage. They've well and truly forced them into B-apps. And the aggression from Peto is going to be absolutely key. Is he going to screw this up and not get a single pick, or is he going to mow them all down? Because he has very serious potential to pretty much end this round. Bear in mind, they're leading it with an AWP because they're expecting to be able to peek that long hallway that is B apartments. And that actually very much favors Peto as they're going to walk right into it, gets one, make that to 2. Doesn't quite get the 3rd, but arguably 2 is just enough. As with 20 seconds on the clock, a 3 versus 1, Ray's hope and dreams, well, they about go as far as a bomb plant. Yeah, the bomb is going to make a massive difference here, though. The bomb is very important. That can make the difference between winning your eco and winning it. Oh, and losing it, sorry. Ray 1 though finds the first. It's definitely winnable. Now they line up! Kind of close.
Yeah, money though on Barrage's side, they're fine with it being one man last alive. When this defuse comes in, they'll get 3.5k. They're balling. They're rolling in it. So, Impulse, their bomb goes down. Look at the money difference there. 2k, 6k on Samuel. Samuel can drop Tech 9s, you've got armor, utility, you can go for a fast speed split, you can go for smoke towards A, playing A execute. The problem is you're not going to really win that after plant with just Tech 9s. But your best bet is probably going towards B, maybe a B split towards short, smoke off connector, smoke off top mid, or smoke off short, sorry, and try and burst towards B.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, right? It's all about that pop effect right now that you can have with these tech rooms where you can just appear. But you've got Wong with the AWP, and he's just not missing, even with smokes. Neto now going to go aggressive off the back of that. Use that misplaced smoke on towards short to get himself just another. And that popping effect of the pistols has well and truly been dropped on dead. They do get that advantage over towards B in terms of crossing on through apartments, but there's still player on short. He's doing so much damage. Ray is trying to make something work, but almost scraping at the bottom of the barrel at this point as Barrage get that equalization point 14-14. And you said if we got here, it'd be going to Barrage. And I can't help but agree with you because it does feel like Barrage have had the better CT side.
Wait,
it comes down to pure buy rounds.
Was that
and there is an AWP on the side of Wong.
No, there's no AWP on Nicky. Samuel had 6k. Oh, no.
They could be going for 5 rifles, bear in mind. Could be a decision.
With 5 rifles, you're going to go, what, XQ8? XQ towards mid? The problem is, look. They've got all the players towards mid and B apps. They're going to go for a contact B play. It's all down to Nuki here with the AK. What's the jump spot? Information's given, though. Actually, did they see that player? Nuki's still pushing. He's on 47 HP. I think the problem is, Nuki right now, you look at the scoreboard, and Nuki in his head's thinking, come on, guys, I need to carry this. My team up's stepping up. It's all down to me. I have to be the player to make this happen. And I feel like, I don't want to say it's getting to him, but he's pushing it too hard. And if he dies here, wait, why? Just why? You don't have to get double entry again towards B. You have the nades utility, have the trust in the system, trust your teammates. Nuki there, throwing away his life once again. He's throwing peak towards mid when it was 14-12, trying to make the play. And the star player here could eventually be the catalyst to Impulse losing this 16-14.
It's such a shame, and you mentioned kind of a key factor again, and it's all about that kind of, reminiscent feeling of previous rounds, because it feels like we've crossed this bridge, where Impulse Gaming have been in a situation where Nuki's tried to go huge, and at times it's worked out of him with that AWP, but there comes a point when there's only so much you can do as just one man. He needs his team to play around him, but there's also that fact about playing around the system and trusting in the mechanism that holds your team together, and something that Barrage really have done a whole lot better, and Shanks has been playing absolutely on point. He's starting to really rival the likes of Nuki, and to be honest, that outcome off the back of that initial loss, all kind of just felt a bit standard. It didn't really feel like there was anything different. It's just Barrage getting the easy picks when Impulse pushed them. None of the flashes really blinded the CT side either, so they literally just held their angles and waited. What more could Barrage ask for? And kind of, Impulse Gaming really starting to fall off short. And now you look at it and go, 4 Tech 9s, a UMP. This is one hell of, a last hope, a last stand. Whatever else you want to call it. One thing it certainly isn't. It's pretty.
Yeah, you ask what can they ask for? They better hope Nuki keeps throwing away his life here. Had such a stellar performance up until these final crucial rounds where he feels the pressure and he wants to put everything on his back, right? He's playing like Kenny S. When Kenny S is on Envious right now, he plays to carry. Sometimes he does play in the favor of the other team. Ray won though, fought in the first, and finally we see Barrage with the opening kill and the man advantage. Can Impulse capitalize off of this? Nuki has an AWP as well.
Look at Velox's position, though. They're pretty much holding on their sights at this point. That's Barrage's game plan. They're not necessarily too fussed about mid-control. Their reliance is all on this site. Neto grenade, portal guard by Cynic. That's a flank kill and a half. Shank, though, trying to do the work. His teammate Velox is going to hold him down, stop him from falling, which means that CT side angle of the A site is well and truly in place. That bomb has been dropped, 45 seconds on the clock, and now Shank gets to do even more work because he's kind of just bordering between facing CT on towards the A site and moving back in towards CT as well and just covering off his behind as then he has to decide, okay, do I want to do anything with stairs? Nuki trying to rival that angle yet again with the AWP, but, you talked about him having to go huge. This is almost impossible at this point. They have so many angles to check, and Cynic with the rifle isn't actually pushing close at all, which kind of bears into this crossfire. They need to check close. Shanks is going to find one. Nuki going to miss the shot, and, there you have it. The nail in the coffin. Barrage eSports take it 16-14.
Wow. Winning both pistols, 6 rounds. They won the first buy round as well. That put them to 13-7. And from 13-7, they lose 16-14. They really need to rethink their T side on Barrage. It's there's no system. I'm not seeing a constant default, right? A lot of the times you see the top teams play Barrage. You have the mid take. Once you take mid, you play off of that. Yes, they did get that first kill towards mid, but the way they played off of it, they pushed through connector. They got mowed down by Shank towards jungle and towards CT. Velox towards Sandwich, that could have been, that round could have ended a lot quicker if Velox pulled the trigger. The problem is we're so paranoid about pallets and ramp, but there's no one there, right? And the way the way this veto system works as well, we could be seeing Mirage again, Flakes.
Yeah,
This
it could
could
be
be
interesting.
Mirage
Of course,
again.
we've seen that before with these teams, right? We've seen them go for the kind of the double-headed strategy of the same map twice on over, but something tells me that's not going to be the case. I think the benchmark team that is CAZ eSports currently for both of these guys, as both of them have played, I think that whole kind of graphing mentality has failed us, if I'm honest. I think the biggest thing to look at now is, in the context of this map at least, Barrage were winning the buy rounds far, far more, and what got Impulse to that point was actually, the point of close contested rounds anyway, was actually that kind of double pistol round strategy. Yes, there were clear holes, but I think there's also has to be mentioned that was a very incredible match as Counter-Strike. I don't want to knock either of these teams. There are always things to patch up, Snods. There are always issues with your game, no matter what team you are, tier 1 international CS or a UK team. There are always going to be issues, always going to be things you fix. So I kind of want to end this first map by saying both teams played real strong CS there, all in all. Hopefully they can learn from that going to the second map, and it's going to be interesting where the veto takes us.
Yeah, the veto here, we could be seeing Mirage again. And if it does come down to Mirage, then I hope it's not 16-14 again, just because this is going to be a very long night. But if it does happen again, is what Impulse did there repeatable to get to 14? I don't think so. Are you going to win both pistols again? Even if it goes 1-1 in terms of pistols, that's what, 16-11? So I really do feel like Barrage definitely came and played a lot better CS here. I mean, before the broadcast, you thought this was going to be a very fast game. A one-sided one. And, Barrage, they came to play. Could be Cobblestone, could be Cash, but it could be Mirage again. But,
For sure, but just before we close this one out, do have to pluck in a little bit of a comment here in terms of speed. Of course, there is a Western Digital SSD giveaway going on right now, which if you want to get involved in that, head over to the UKGT Twitter or the UKGT website as well, which is ukgt.co.uk, where you can see all things about the dates, the table, and just the overall fixtures with the league and stuff. So that's the place to go to get all your information. So make sure you do go check that out, and give a huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors, Western Digital. Of course, there are a couple more as well, but go find all the information over on the website. But without further ado, there's no need to listen to us anymore, as we are going to throw you to some wonderful dub music as we wait for the veto to roll on through and get ourselves into the second map of the night.
I'm Ammunition. I play video games for a living. Guys, I'm
really not caring about you.
I literally am sitting on the point. No one has noticed. Just distracted. I think one of the things that draws people to my stream is my personality. I just got a quadruple kill. I didn't know what to do with that. The fact that I'm even paying my bills off of playing video games is something I would have never expected to be able to do. Oh my god!
Behind you, Stefan.
I started streaming about 2 years ago, and it was very nerve-wracking because I had no idea what to expect. I'm flying to point 2. If you asked me 5-10 years ago if that was something I thought I could do, I would have told you that there was no way. So being able to predict where streaming is going is just not something that any of us really know how to do. The process of streaming is very CPU intensive. So having a very strong CPU means that you're going to get a higher quality stream, which is better for your viewers. Both of the CPUs that I use are Intel i7. I was looking for a very strong graphics card and a very strong CPU. It's almost required that you have very strong versions of both of those. I had never built my own PC before, so I wanted the challenge of it. I knew that if I were able to build my own PC, I could fix it at any time or upgrade the parts whenever I wanted. People are always interested in custom-built PCs. I usually encourage people to build their own because you get a lot of experience and knowledge out of the process. I think the most rewarding part of being a streamer is when people message me and tell me that they had a bad day and that my stream was able to provide them with some entertainment, and I know that even if I can't fix the problems that are going on in their lives, I can at least distract them for a little while with some smiles, hopefully.
PC gaming is one of the most exciting forms of gaming because you can build your own custom case, you can buy a nicer CPU. A PC enthusiast can really customize their experience. And that's where it really differs from a console.
Stop the time, hold your breath, you're the only one I see. Breathe me in, taste your lips, you're the only high I need. I'm losing control, your eyes entice me. Just letting go, your hold is tightening. I feel you rushing through my veins. Our bodies getting closer. Your heartbeat drives me insane. I feel you taking over. I feel you rushing through my veins. Our bodies getting closer. Your heartbeat drives me insane. I feel you taking over. Take me high, break me down, you're the flashing lights I see. Catch my soul, lose my mind, you're the only trip I need. I'm losing control, your eyes entice me. Just letting go, your hold is tightening. I feel you rushing through my veins. Our bodies getting closer. Your heartbeat drives me insane. I feel you taking over.
Hello and welcome back to what is week 2, day 1 of the UK Gaming Tours, bringing you all the hottest action in the UK Counter-Strike community when it comes down to the league that is currently ongoing in its second week, as mentioned. And, well, we've been the first map. We've watched that one through. It was a bit of an interesting affair and was much closer than we originally expected. But now, Alex, we have our second. And, well, one thing's for sure, it's not quite Barrage. It is, in fact, Overpass.
Yeah, not really too sure what to think here. Barrage, I remember, this was months ago when I played on them. Yeah, Overpass is definitely a very prevalent map. Played it a lot, scrimmed it a lot. Wong is very good on this map. And if I remember, Prezi as well towards the B site. Very strong as well. Impulse, I couldn't tell you anything about them on Overpass. I haven't seen them play Overpass. They've played Barrage 5 times this week, and they haven't played anything else. Premiership, they played Barrage. UKGT Tours first week, they played Barrage. Previous map they played Barrage. So at this point, it's anyone's game. I don't know how strong they're going to be, but based off what we saw last time, Barrage T-sides are a lot easier and based off individual skill than Overpass T-sides, right? And if Impulse is struggling on the T-sides of Barrage, well, they've got another thing coming for them on their T-side Overpass. And Nuki with a nice, confident headshot there onto Wong makes it a 5 versus 4.
Yeah, perhaps the best way to open the show is Nuki, though. It's just him, the one-band army. I referred to him as I think it was the Swiss Army knife in that previous matchup, and, well, he's doing it again, so I'd say he's back at it with the double kill. Happy days for him, and, well, perhaps he's going to take it even further, as he's on the aggressive front. Meanwhile, the rest of his team are actually playing this one relatively smart. They're not going over aggressive, they're just letting him do his own thing, and then they're playing around that, and a lot of that comes down to their connector control, and where they're sat over towards that B site, and this is looking real good for them now. Barrage beginning to build an up. Peto just trying to take a bit of a peek towards heaven there. He's going to at least find himself a bit of a tag, and, well, that always leaves a bit of a parting gift with the CTs, but that's nothing crazy. The big thing with Velx, he's going to find the headshot on towards Ray. This leaves a window of opportunity, but can they go with it? Samuel, the man from heaven, just trying to tap on through, but unable to really fulfill, should I say, his objective.
Objective here, minimal, is a bomb plant from Barrage side. They are 2-man down already thanks to Nuki. Nuki even. He spots that player go inside, connect, and they spot them as well towards mid. So the CTs, they know what's up. Velox needs to find an early kill, otherwise this is going to be a very easy round for Impulse to close out. Pushing towards Truck, can he land a kill?
Bombs happen. Velox just trying to make it work. Curves one back on towards Samuel. Peto going aggressive over towards Garbage and gets the shot on towards Cynic. And from here, it pits off back to a 2 versus 2. And look at that box nod. It's crucial. But Peto, he goes for the drive-by, burst fires on towards Jammy, and that leaves a huge situation now for Nuki to call out of. And he gets shut down by Peto, who goes even further aggressive. A triple kill for him. What a round as an individual. Wow. What a way to play that 2 versus 2. Barrage, they get themselves 1-0 up, and they look to hammer on forward now. 2 rifles and a UMP.
Yeah, apologies there for that throw. I didn't realize you were drinking something or whatever you're doing. So,
all good.
1-0. Barrage need to take the pistol, and taking the pistol round on the T side of Overpass is very important, because what happens is, actually, wait a minute. I was about to say what happens is the CTs, when they force buy, they don't have utility and mollies for the first buy round. And actually, Impulse here buying Deagles. And only Deagles, no armor, no utility, and a USP on Nuki. These guys are going for the full save. They understand, as well as me, how important the Molotovs are for Overpass. But this also means that these SMGs are going to have a very easy time farming up frags.
Nuki there making mincemeat of them, pretty much there.
Yeah, Nuki there, finding one. Still all going for... Oh my goodness, that's a nice shot there from Samuel. 2 frags for Impulse. They've done more than enough for themselves here. Not buying into this round at all, really, apart from just $700 a piece each. And they've taken out 1 AK, or I'm not sure if it's 2 SMGs, but regardless, they've taken out a lot of money of Barrage's side. But still, 2-0 in favor of Barrage, and we're going to see probably a 3-0 as well, because Impulse are on that double eco. Then again, though, having the Molotovs and counter flashes as well is so important for the B site. A lot of the times, these, I don't want to say unstructured teams, but fairly new teams, Barrage, they recently got Velox and Neto back in, and they went under Barrage, or just as they qualified for UKGT, so definitely a fresh team. They've been playing together, they've been playing as a set 4 for a while, but obviously they took a break, so it does take a while for things to get back and fit back into place, so could be seeing a lot of B contact plays from them, or if they want to play how we used to, heavy, A defaults and heavy towards A long.
Well, certainly just one cog in the machine, but he's doing his job so far as he continues to let it roll on forward. A double kill for him. Neto next in line to find one on towards Ray with the MAC-10, and bit by bit things are looking ever so plentiful as Wong is going to hammer it home. Another double kill for him as well, making a whole lot of money when it comes down to these SMGs as Barrage carry themselves to a 3-0 standpoint. Perfect scoreline for them and a perfect start, but now they have to deal with a bit more of a rivalry as things are beginning to heat on up on Overpass. Impulse Gaming, they're on the buy-in. Well, Cynic buying rather late, but nonetheless, it is going to be the 4 M4s and the AWP buy on towards Nuki.
Yep, and they're keeping the SMGs as well. They're anticipating no head arm on the side of Impulse. The problem... Oh, the double nade! The triple nade! Catches Nuki off guard and already a man advantage for the side of Barrage, but Cynic John equalizes the numbers, the 4 versus 4, but a quick trade there from Prezi will have them marching and stomping up. Banana up A short towards the A bomb site. Ray 1 here with a fast rotate.
And looking to almost just try and make it work around this truck and gets himself at least one. That's the bare minimum for what he's looking for with that peak, but he's got a second next in line as Velox is going to try and force the issue. Goes for the aggressive push. Jammy hasn't that nade. Could go for a perfect dunk on towards Shankton. Well, he does some damage, but it's only going to be a slither, a scraping almost of what they actually need to achieve now. As the CT side quick on their heels, but look at this position being held from Ray. He's almost just waiting for this boost to fulfill itself. That smoke is going to fade, but Wong shoulder peaks, goes on back, and the timing means that boost is rendered useless. Heartbreaking for the CT side now as Wong tries to really close this one out with this AWP, and well, he's being one hell of a target at this point. They're sticking it. It is going to be a quick double kill though. Unfortunately, he's only able to do just so much, but not enough to stop the round from being closed out. Impulse Gaming back on the board.
So, I actually forgot to mention this, and some of the players were brought up a concern about a slight bug in the UKGT servers, is that you can actually spot players through smokes, which shouldn't happen, and similar to how it was in Source, and but yeah.
I imagine, as Misty just said, it's not a UKGT specific thing, but more of a CSGO thing.
Well, you want to argue that point? That's fine. We'll do it after the broadcast is over. But that player there, I can't remember who it was. Maybe I think it was Prezi or Shank there, being spotted inside the smoke, does fall. But still, 1-3, 2 rounds favouring Barrage. And if they can take this one as well, then reset the money of Impulse, we could be seeing a very similar affair to what we saw on Mirage, where Impulse would win a round and then instantly be reset following that. That definitely hurts yourself following into the first half.
Jammy just trying to bear down on towards this monster push, but Wong with the, well, select use of weaponry is pulling them through. A quick double kill for him, using that scope to its full advantage. Ever so accurate as he finds himself these headshots. Peso going to find just another on towards Cynic, and it seems like the pieces yet again are falling all over the board for this T-side. Impulse Gaming, so much to do here to get out of this one, and we say Impulse, in reality it is just Nuki. Gets himself at least that first frag, and that does pit things to a bit of a fighting chance, but well, after that, getting this next two, going to be ever so difficult. A blinding affair just the minute he even thinks about peeking. He shall receive, and he goes back aggressive on towards Lure. Finds one, goes for the second, but, well, makes it look possible, and unfortunately it still isn't going to be.
No, it won't be, but it was the B attack from Barrage, catching those Impulse players off guard. You saw, I think it was, who was it towards Monster got caught? Forget the name. Player got caught off towards Monster, trying to turn for a flashbang that he saw. Instead, though, Wong sprung the trap early and catch that player off guard. And as soon as that first entry happened, they flooded out Monster, and the trades came in, and they took control of that B-bomb side. And the 1 versus 3, Nuki almost clutches it. Still, though, money reset here. The fourth one comes in. Impulse. And Shank there, a nice double spray down. Will make it a 2 versus 5. As Wong chimes into Jammy James! Almost making that a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, trying to fight tooth and nail to bring it back to a meritable round, trying to go for a bit of a spray down of his own, but against Nod, it's the same old moot point. He's not able to do too much. Does get himself at least 2 kills, but the rest of his team really haven't been able to achieve anything, and 2 kills not quite enough for Ray, really, as he's only just got that 5-7. He is going to pick up that M4, which with Kevlar behind him, hey, that's effectively the equivalent of what he would have, you know, in a ladder or in a round off using all that utility in a buy. But then it's still a 1v3.
Yeah, problem is as well, he's at the opposite side of the map with no kit. So already 5 seconds knocked off his time to find these 3 players. Shank is low, so if we did come down to the 1 versus 1 and Shank towards toilet, then maybe there's a chance. But even then, at this point, Ray 1, the money is strong on Barrage's side. Your money's very weak. You're gonna get the money round bonus even if you lose. So Basically, on your bike, mate, jog on, head towards B, save that rifle, and allow Barrage to keep the 3 rifles, because at this point, you're denting your own economy more than you're denting theirs. 4-1, or sorry, 5-1 now. Impulse, they go for the force buy, doesn't merit them the advantage. Then again, though, Nuki does have some cash. They can drop pistols over here. Ray 1 as well will save the AK, so this could be a decent buy actually coming out the side of Impulse. And if they go and they opt to play together, maybe go for, not connected pushes, just saw Shank took advantage of that last time, but maybe double push towards A long with the rifle, that's what I would do personally. Try and, get a man advantage early, try and play off of a 4 versus 5, try and grab that rifle as well. There's a chance Impulse can take this, but, Wong, he's still on the SSG, but it will be the full save for Impulse.
Yeah, and that full save is going to lead us to a bit of a moot point where you've got Ray on one side with that AK-47, which is a whole lot of firepower, right? That's a real positive, but then when you kind of bring it back down to planet Earth with these pistols, you're in a situation where things are looking almost rather uninhabitable for this team, as they are just going to get dropped on dead towards long. Do some damage in the process with their deagle, but even then, well, it's a pretty stripping affair to look for some positivity as a smoke to go towards garbage. Peto going to just be clearing out the site, and perhaps even a choice to go aggressive through that gap, as he is going to spot out Ray. And well, very, very soon we can expect a couple of things. It's going to be frags, it's going to be a bomb plant, it's going to be a round win for Barrage.
Yep, fairly clean as well. 4 players staying alive as long as no one else does fall here. They are pushing for not real reason here, just the $300, and that'll be $600 in the back pocket of Presley. 1-6 now. Impulse, they need to take this round. If they lose this and they allow Barrage to get to 1-8 on their T side as well, I mean, you've got to be expecting a strong CT side here from Impulse, right? You've got your star AWPer, Nuki, AWPing on CT side overpass. I don't want to say it's easy, but it's very, very strong. And you need a prevalent AWPer to definitely have prevalent and strong CT sides. Don't all to play for here. Nuki getting aggressive towards middle with his AWP. They're trying to find the first frag, but look how passive Barrage are playing. And actually, Impulse there, they get cold feet, they fall back, and they go towards Connector.
Connector certainly a point of attack, but can also be a pretty tough vector in itself. Nonetheless, it is going to be Barrage working their way out just around this water. Try not to give off too many sound cues, but Race almost certainly has a rough idea that the presence is going to be there, which is why we're seeing Barrage get themselves lining up with this utility, one of which could be interesting for Cynic as he gets the jump on them, finds that pick on towards Peto off the back of just being a bit sporadic in his entry. Shanks a successful shot on towards Ray. Neto a second on towards Nuki, but look at Samuel coming in from the flank as well. Will be Cynic as he finds one back in return, and this one really is going backwards and forwards, but look at Barrage. They've played them hook, line, and sinker. The bomb is going over towards A. Molotovs are plentiful over towards garbage. Bank smoked off. CD side, there's nothing they can do.
They planted for Bank as well. This is so smart, actually. I really like the way Barrage have played this. Even though I believe they lost too many players towards B, maybe they got a bit too antsy there. The problem is, though, Velox, he has to take 1 frag at least and stay alive. He gets the second as well. Seeing John rotating in from toilets, and because Velox is there, they know exactly where he is. Velox can hide here. He has 2 flashbangs as well to play the bomb. Sitting John with no kit here, taps the bomb, but at this point, it's useless. Barrage goes 7-1. And Impulse Gaming, I mean, they sold the fake so well there. Maybe too many players died on the side of Barrage, but the reason so many players died was because the flank came in. And the flank came in because there were 2 players towards A. If you had players on the T side towards short, that flank doesn't happen, so, it does go both ways. But still, Impulse Gaming on the reset, only Sling John here with armor. 5-7 Deagles across the board, though. Very tough round for them to win.
Tough round indeed. Of course, we saw 3 rounds in that original stint for Barrage when they got that pistol, and well, from there it was final interruption from Impulse, but then they quickly got a reset, and that's the kind of moot point that really sums up how we've got to this 1-7, and we'll now have to take that even further. Just a next step, you can say. Well, it's just pistol. Cynic just try and take a much more longer range fight. Samuel with the Deagle spamming for, well, yet again a bit of a hopeful affair, but which one really is going to be looking to be, well, tough, I think it's the fairest way to describe it. Samuel is going to get that flick on towards Velox, so hey-ho, that's something. But I'm looking at this gunfight that Pedo has taken and going, oh, okay, well, that's the trade. Once things start to go back to trading, these rifles are always going to win. These pistols have their work cut out for them. Nades landing at their feet, doing even more damage. Jammy taking a longer range fight, but somehow Wongy's not going to win it. This is insanity with the fact that Jammy's able to make that one work. Shank will now readjust over towards Long. Samuel with the rifle in hand that he has picked up, gets the headshot on towards Peto. Barrage, how on earth have you thrown this away? A quick flash to come out from Shank, but at this point the pistols are good because they can just be a distraction.
How does Jamie James win that duel? No arm on a 5-7. And somehow takes that player towards site. Impulse Gaming don't get reset again because yes, you won the round, but that could definitely be a blessing in disguise. Blessed with a curse here potentially, because if they lose the subsequent round and get reset again, this could be 9-2. And at 9-2, Barrage, they've already got more than enough rounds. You know, on your T side over party, if you're getting 9-6 as a bare minimum, you've done more than enough going into your CT half. And Impulse Gaming. Nicky as well. When you go for that pick, you need the flashbang from the player towards heaven. And now Barrage, they know there's only 2 players towards B. They know Nuki plays A. So they already know it's going to be a weird setup as well. The CT's going to have to play a weird setup around Nuki's AWP. So definitely going to be hard for him to hold this off.
Yeah, Barrage looking almost like a bit of an unstable affliction at this point as they continue to push on forward. That's the curse you're talking about, kicking into high gear at this point, is they've got a man advantage. They've got themselves almost in a bit of a cluster bomb effect on towards B. This is looking so dangerous. Wong looking for this close range shot. His AWP has now become a shotgun, it seems. This barrel in hand will look to creep out towards Monster. I'm kind of looking at the CT side setup as well and going,
this is almost wrong.
You know, yeah, it looks very weird for when you know there's a lot of presence towards B. But the other key thing for me as well is they've got a lot of players off the site, and then you're looking at just Jammy, who feels like he's almost all alone, just hung out to dry. We do see a quick trade though. A second actually claimed for Ray, so that's good. That's something.
Yeah. So 2 versus 3 now. How is the 2 versus? Oh my God!
Samuel, how are you hitting those shots? Goes for another on towards Wong. Isn't able to hit it, but still alive, and that's going to be the most important thing. But Velox is going to push on towards short and take him down. But what a shot from Samuel. That certainly steals the limelight away from Barrage in that round.
So, I really did think Barrage played that wrong there. You got the first pick, and in their heads like, okay, we've got man advantage. Play slow, play slow, play slow. The problem is Impulse had a good play there. They realized they need information fast. Is it going to be a B player, or is it just a default and they've caught Nicky off guard that way? They push towards toilets, they peek mid, they see nothing. They push down connector, they go 2 for 1 in connector. And at that point, the numbers are equalized, right? And somehow, some way, Barrage make it 3 versus 2! And I thought that would have been a nice time up there. Samuel as well with that godly flick through, about to call it something I should have there, through pillar, does make it 2 versus 2, and then in the 1 versus 2 he does fall. But yeah, Barrage, initial first pick there. They played it slow. I don't quite agree with that, but at the same time, you can't fault them. They won the round, fair play to them. They're playing stellar Counter-Strike versus Impulse Gaming right now. And already 6 rounds in the lead.
That's so playing around these stairs, goes for a bit of a jumping shot as his teammate flies on by, and that's certainly not what we want to be doing. It's a shotgun that's sat tight against the corner, but nonetheless, the do's and don'ts, they've been explained, but the result, not so much, as the shotgun will fall, the players will hit the deck. And Barrage eSports, they may not have HP, but they do have amount advantage. And taking into account Wong just hitting on a measly amount of 12, but again, it's still a man, as we mentioned. Plus 40 seconds coming on the clock now. Barrage do need to begin to make some sort of movement to a site, though, and I think that's very apparent, Snods. And this A site, I would say it's
winnable.
A little bit more successful for Barrage. It is winnable, though, with Ray, especially with this pop flash, but can't get close. And one of the big things that's going to stick up to me is if he peeks solo, which he's doing. That's not what you want to do. Jammy is nowhere to be seen. He's pitched his tent on the stairs. Is going to at least find himself a bare minimum of 1. Velox is going to hold it tight and take it home.
Still though, from a 3 versus 2 to a 1 versus 1, they played it well. Ray 1 found the first kill there. I believe it was Wong that was super low HP, so that's why it was initially winnable. You can try and take that first player down and make it 2 versus 2 and then play the trade game as they did there. Unfortunately though, Velox managed to trade Jamie James and made it 9-2. Reset for Impulse. What did I say? If they take that 1 round, it could be a blessing in disguise, and it definitely was. Because already, Impulse started sitting at 9-2, and I said if Barrage get to 9, they've already won the half in terms of what they're expecting. 9-6 is the minimum rounds they can get here. Impulse Gaming, who won the pistol? Yeah, it was Barrage, so they've only won 1 rifle round and then a full eco as well. This could be 13-2, 13-2, or even a 12-3 half here, Flakes. This is looking very dire for Impulse Gaming.
Yeah, kind of the only thing that really comes to mind is where do they go from this? Is there much potential to apply a quick fix? This is something where you can just slap on a band-aid and hope for the best, or are we really looking at kind of a situation where you can say the end is nigh, as it is 9-2? These sort of matches, they do tend to go one of 2 ways. They either spiral out of control and we stare down the barrel of a 13-2 abomination of a half, or, you know, at least a 12-3, or are we going to see a bit more of a comeback come in where, you know, a 10-5, a 6-9, is on the cards. 10-5 much more realistic, I think, considering
Yeah.
what's going to be coming to this round. But is there anything to look towards in the spotlight, or is it all but done?
If it goes 10-5 and Impulse Gaming win the second pistol and make it 8-10, that's very doable. We've seen in the previous map on Barrage, Impulse are very good on their pistol round, so definitely a chance if they make it 10-5 and somehow manage to potentially win the first buy round, then instantly, it's 10-10. So they need the second pistol, don't drop a round to the force buy, and then win the first gun round. But Impulse Gaming, if they're going to show a similar T-side to what they did last time, that's too much to ask, in my opinion. At this point, it's looking very, very one-sided in favor of Barrage. And when it goes 10-2, even just asking for a 10-5 half is a lot to ask for. And then you're asking for the pistol round, and then you're asking for the first buy round on your T-side. It's too many what-ifs. It's too many. They need X to have a chance at winning this. Yeah, this is looking very bleak.
The other thing as well is, I would say with quite a lot of confidence, to be honest, that comparing this map to kind of the previous they just played, Overpass is a much harder T-side to master. You can't just kind of wing that with quick aggression. There needs to always be some tactical thought in your positioning, because the CTs, they can dart fairly easily between that A and B site. As a terrorist, if you start advancing on towards A, you have to rush back towards connector, and that really does require some planning in terms of positioning, let alone then your pushes on towards sites. It's always about this two-prong avenue, whether it's A long or that quick push on A short, similar sort of thing towards B.
It's also about having connector control anyway, right? So you need to go through connector, but you also need to have control of connector. This is a good boost here.
Speaking of the devil.
Yep. Speaking of connector, Sam1 and Cynic John find 2 kills as players exit connector. Velox though, peeking in towards toilets. He spots the flashbang. Nuki towards long toilets. Velox knows exactly where he is. Wong finds Cynic John and wide facing. Nuki finds him. 2 versus 4. Sorry, beg your pardon. Nice shot there from Wong, but look at the HP. 27 and 53. Jamie James has got an easy 2 bullets here of the M4. 2 bullets will find Wong. 1 bullet will find Prezi. That's actually a really smart play there.
Yeah, Jamie, you talk about how easy it is for him to land the shot, but actually when he's presented an opportunity to get the kill, he doesn't. Gets a couple of them landed, but it's not quite enough to secure the kill, which, it has to be said, with 55 seconds to play with, the ball is now in the court of Barrage. They have a choice to make in terms of where they want to go. They can come up with a play. They're seemingly very, very split up at the moment, but that seems to be what they want to do. That seems to be their approach, and kind of the read I'm getting, the inkling is, we're going to get that bomb, begin to move over towards B site. Peto going to try and A, fake them over towards A, but then also try and get that quick push down through bank and come in from behind on the flank.
Oh, no way is this going to work.
This is madness. If they're actually getting away with this.
No way. This can't work. Come on, surely.
Peto doesn't want to die here either.
But you saw the delay between nades. You know that that can only be one person. Well, it could be 2, but how
Common
delayed?
sense will tell you.
It's not just that, but okay. When you see a smoke land, you see a molly land instantly afterwards, and a flashbang, you're like, okay, there's 3 people here because of how fast his nades were thrown. Smoke was thrown, and then 2 seconds, then the molly was thrown, and for some reason Wong is playing an open angle with 2 HP, so he just dies. And now Prezi in the 1 versus 2.
Gonna try and make it work. The defuse already being peeked on out there, and Jamie getting a headshot straight off the bat. A questionable afterpart strategy, considering I was almost screaming off of my lips there the fact they were able to get away with a second player alive as well, because usually that's the sort of strategy, right, where the guy who's thrown the smokes will fall and you're left in a 1 versus 2. But they had, best case, 1 in a million almost in that 2v2, and then they leave that sour note of going for, I don't even want to say questionable, just absolute ridiculous afterpart strategies. That's one way to throw away an advantage.
There's just much better ways you can play it, right? Both players had nades. Prezi throws his nades towards long. Wong still had his nades. Wong can play in the pit area. The pit I'm talking about, opposite the B bomb site, in the little pit there with the water. He can play a headshot angle there and hold heaven. And then you have Prezi jump on top of site, hold another headshot angle, and he can hold hell, And you've got a smoke on Wong. Wong can smoke off short. He can flash it. He can do whatever he wants. At the end of the day, there are headshot angles, many headshot angles towards B. You can smoke heaven if you want, and then play barrels and hold short push. So, Barrage, not quite reading the situation well there. He shouldn't be openly facing, and Jamie James on full HP and Wong on 23, whatever it was. It's very easy duel there for him. So, still though, the bomb did go down, and that will be more money in the bank for Barrage. And even though they've won so many rounds in a row, their money's actually quite low. A lot of 2 versus 2s, a lot of very close situations have resulted in Barrage's money not actually being quite as strong as we previously thought. But they'll be going 4 rifles. Well, I say 4 rifles. 5 rifles and a Krieger, an SSG. So this could be set play towards B, be contact with Wong's SSG. It could also be heavy towards A long, smoke the bottom of A long, execute onto A, and take advantage of Nuki if he decides to AWP there.
I do have to say, Snars, as much as everything you just said was really, really good, and I do agree with that, but it was very, very hard to deal with the off-putting sounds that Wong and Peto have to make. I have to say, they've got 2 very beautiful singing voices. I'm not quite sure if you've got voices enabled, but...
Ooh, let me put it on, actually.
They're going to town with their voices right now. You've missed out on it a bit,
sing
but
for me.
suffice to say, it looks like Peto can hold a note.
Sing for me.
A very high note, but a note nonetheless.
Right, what song are they sing? Let's take a look. Volume. Let's increase the volume here.
I'm going to be disappointed if the stream couldn't hear that, to be honest.
Sing for me,
Because that
Flakes, like one of your French girls.
I'm not singing for you,
whatever
man.
that quote is from the Titanic.
I'm not putting myself through that. That's trauma for me, let alone the viewers at home and yourself. There's going to be a glass breaking somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, when I first threw to you as well, in the first round, I heard you put something glass on the table like that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it may have not been a glass going on the table and the glass falling over, but you know what? It is what it is.
Did you spill water everywhere?
Yeah, there might be water currently all over my floor, but that's Future Flakes'
Yeah,
problem.
we heard that.
Yeah.
Future Flakes. Yeah.
That's Future Me problem. I'll deal with
It's
that later
fine.
on.
You know, Future Flakes is gonna have custom money in the bag. Who cares about a little bit of water spilling?
Yeah, it's all good. Should be fine.
Wet things is, you know, your average Tuesday night, isn't it, Flakes?
You're loving that one, aren't you? You do love the easy ones.
Oh, I do love the easy ones. The Barrage do 10-3. 7 rounds of the lead. Best case scenario for Impulse is a 5-10 half, and even then, that's a very big ask to get 11 rounds on your CT side, especially after what they showed us on Barrage. So at this point, it's looking heavily favored in terms of Barrage. Money as well is low on Impulse, so if they lose this one, they have to save for the last one, so it could easily be 11-4.
All in all, a pretty bleak standpoint, I think. 11-4, 12-3. There is a difference in rounds when it comes down to that pistol round and where things go from there, but it is still also pretty damn uncomfortable when you're on the receiving end of just that big of a blow. Ray, of course, going to throw out a bit of a cheeky smoke to kick things off, but, you know, I like this from the CT side. It's going to be some early presence, hopefully, over towards the B site. We're going to see more than likely a monster peek off the back of Ray's flash, and that will try and really just garner some respect from Impulse over to the side of Barrage, but that does also leave a lot of, well, play to be made from Shank as he gets the easy peek on towards Nuki, and not only that, it's going to be Wong on short as well.
1 minute 25 on the clock. Already Nuki falls, trying to make the play. Oh, Velox! Doesn't quite land the second spray though. Oh, and he gets the second kill for himself. 2 versus 5. What am I watching here? This is just a mess. Nuki peeking towards Connector without the best spawn means that the player, or sorry, the T player has already pushed up Connector, but Jamie James does get 2, but still sitting John in the 1 versus 2. He has a kit and a molly as well, but he actually failed that molly. So the bomb will go down, and actually St. John falls as well. So Nuki trying to make the play again. I mean, he doesn't have the best spawn. He peeks in, where you don't have the best spawn towards Connector. The T player can be so close. So as soon as you whiff that shot, you're dead. It's not as if you can peek early, spot him to go peeking, and spot him just peeking out, take the shot. If you don't kill him, fine, you can still run away. Nuki, if you want to get aggressive, push B short, peek B short. Don't have to peek everything towards A.
Yeah, I think it's really just beginning to get tougher and tougher. Impulse surrounded in cement almost as they've got their feet stuck on their 3rd round, and getting out of it, well, I'm not sure what really can help them. Velox, easy pickings on towards Nuki for him. Peto for just another on towards Cynic at this point, and a lot of damage is going to be inflicted to 5-7. Somewhat struggling, does dink him down to just a mere 13 HP, so small amounts, you know. A sprinkling of damage would just end his life, but even finding that, yet again, you know, a bit of a search and destroy, a long-lost mission. The boys in green that are Impulse Gaming. As blue seems to be overwhelming them at this point. Velox trying to pin down Connector, finds another on towards Cynics, and a bit of a latter-ending story. Ray just trying to survive as long as he physically can over towards Truck, and gets the headshot on towards Neto, which I think is good. But I still think Barrage have this in the bag. I think it's going to just be another easy round. Look at the claps they can apply to this A site. The amount of squeezing they can do. Ray would need to get back-to-back headshots at an ungodly speed to pull that off, and he's just not going to do it, unfortunately. It is the same point. 12-3 is going to be the half, and, well, where does this leave us going into the pistol round?
Well, now I see why Impulse play Mirage every game.
Yeah, Barrage is like the one map where they put up a fight against not just, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but your sort of teams who aren't necessarily up there within that top 4, top 5 benchmark necessarily, but then, you know, on Mirage they're fighting, you know, the likes of Kaz and doing relatively well on them. Kaz are a very renowned UK lineup, so I think there's a big difference, should I say, a big disparity between these two maps, and I think it's not just Mirage. They're good at like maps like Cache as well. I've seen some promise from them there, but Overpass. Yeah, maybe not again. Not without some real big practice. It's like Rasta playing Dust 2 is kind of the vibe I'm getting right now.
I mean, teams watching this right now, they already probably know just ban Mirage versus Impulse Gaming, and you know what have they actually got on any other map? You know, they've all their competitive experience in these leagues has been on Mirage. You ban it, and you know you put them on something fresh, something you know they might practice, but practicing and actually playing something live in the server is very different. Velox pushing towards mid. And actually will be spotted and will go down. Nuki with the first. Can he get second?
Unable to achieve a second, but a frag nonetheless is a whole lot of value for him as he bags it away and decides, you know what, I'm just going to sit here with my stash and be happy as ever, a grin on his face. As Peto, going for a comedic affair, Julie's. Not quite sure if I can stand behind that, but you know what T-side will do, as the T-side will want, as they are on this site now, still just trying to berate them as they find a frag on towards Shank. Another one for Ray as well. Wong finally responds to the CT side with not one, but damage on towards a second, as Samuel are going to be ever so low. But look at Cynic still spamming with his block as Nuki then peeks on around this pillar and claims the life of Wong. Snots, that's a pistol for Impulse Gaming. That right there is the definition of a lifeline.
Yeah, for sure. Now they need to not give this up. Make it 6-12. And then from there, it's a very different story. Barrage, they can't allow themselves to win a round, get reset, as they did to Impulse on their T side. They need to string rounds together and be consistent here. They can't allow the money to break on their CT side. Otherwise, this could be another 16-14. This could be another, well, not another, but potentially an overtime. Still though. Buy comes in. Velox again on the scout. Buys it pretty much every single force buy. But still, good read here from Impulse as they charge up mid.
Yeah, just going lance forward at this point, just trying to almost mow them down with all these SMG bullets. But are they actually going to be able to find anything? The answer so far is going to be a flat-out no. But they do get the bomb plant, and then Samuel and Nuki are all going to combine, and it's all going to look like one hell. A happy day for them. They are just going to make so much money with those SMGs, and it's nice and spread as well. It's not just one player getting stacked, which is always a positive as well. That means that the scoreline develops into a 12-fine standpoint, where Barrage still on this eco. Going to be USPs and such, so not really expecting to see too much from them, perhaps a bit of damage to be applied, but the big thing now is going to be, okay, are we looking at just a 12-6 and then a quick shutdown from Barrage, or are we starting to see a scoreline develop that, you know, does mean the comeback is on the cards?
I reckon this could get fairly close if Impulse take the first buy round. For me though, if Barrage take the first buy round and make it 13-6, even if they get reset, then it's 7-13, and I mean, then again, Barrage should win from 7-13 down on Mirage. But then again, you know, they were on their CT side, and now they're on their CT side again. Samuel mopping house. 4 SMG kills there. Straight away, $2.5k to the bank. Byron coming in though. Let's see. Org again on Wong. Is he going to peek mid of that? Don't know if he's got. Yeah, he has to spawn as well, but peek mid. You can actually smoke mid and use the Org scope actually really well, I reckon. Let's see what he does here. Be very interested to see how he plays with the Org. Is he going to smoke mid? Yeah, smokes mid. Oh, he's not going to peek over it though. Going to play passive and watch for the push.
Impulse going for a bit of repetition as they nade stack connector and then try and bite off the back of that as they charge on forward, nipping at the heels of Barrage. And most importantly, it is going to be Neto who's going to find himself chased on down. As look at them, the firing squad in line, a double kill between the two of them. Neto then picking it out, looking to take it even further and gets 3 peeks on towards Cynic. Eventually, it will be Jammy to trade it back. But Impulse, they have themselves one hell of a hole to dig their way out of now. As just look at their positioning in comparison to Barrage, right? You've got Peto holding close, which means that Samuel or Jammy are going to have to push them. They have to flash that out. Peto should play smart and not peek it. Shanked, he's trying to bait them to come and get him, and was just saying, you know what? Here's the carrot. You know, come and grab it. Come and take it away from me, which means that that's a trade kill. So it was A site, undiscoverable. B site, perhaps their one long lost chance. And with 55 seconds on the clock, they have a whole lot of time to work with to get there. But Snods, I've got to be honest, I'm not holding too much faith in them either. With the man disadvantage and kind of the way these rounds have gone, and who seemingly holds the advantage in skill at least.
Yeah, they have
smokes.
Yeah, they have smokes though. So if they do get the entry here towards B, smoke heaven, smoke hell, and that's when it becomes very difficult for the retake towards Barrage with no nades and no kit. So it's all down to Velox here. He has to get one frag here at least. Yep, and now the smokes are here. This is definitely very winnable right now for Impulse.
Flashes are going to go on out, smoke on towards the site, just a little bit to the right, and another one on towards short. And this is crucial because it leaves Graffiti wide open now for Petter and Shank to take this fight. And it actually kind of plays into the hands. They are taking a lot of damage, but look at them sandwich on through, squeezing them out of the site. Jammy, he's so low, he goes for the elevated jump, drops down in towards water, and Shanked and Petto, they will combine and they will take this one for the team. It's going to be 12-6, but it's quickly going to develop off the back of this round to perhaps the end at this point. As Impulse Gaming are running out of chances to pick themselves up rounds to make this comeback happen.
I mean, you got the entry there towards Velox, but they opt to smoke short and they opt to smoke site. Smoking site, that's fine, right? The player that rotates in from heaven, when you cross back from site, he can kill you, so fair play. I'm fine with that smoke. The smoke short, I'm not too sure on. It's very unlikely of a player towards connector or a player playing towards B short. Very, very unlikely there, so maybe in the Monic, I wouldn't say they panicked, but they didn't really have the thought process at the time that we do. Velox here, is he going to catch Nuki out with the orb?
A couple of shots are certainly thrown off, a bit of a seasonal greeting almost, and eventually it's actually going to be Wong to catch them off guard, but Nuki is going to respond and gets that quick trade kill, but Wong getting double kill? Well, happy for him. Nuki though with another on towards Neto. That's the value in it now for the T side, as there are 3 versus 2, an advantage on towards them, and, well, as no surprise, the saying continues to be ever so told, the ball is in their court. Where do they want to head? It's going to be the B site, and I think the B site in this scenario certainly favors their setups. They have to get this right, and I kind of am looking towards Graffiti when it comes down to these smokes. That'd be nice. And there you have it, Jammy learning from previous mistakes.
Yeah. So, smokes come in, 2 versus 3 retake here. Money on Barrage's side is very low. Save this, you can have 2 rifles. One can drop a rifle as well. Oh, sorry, buy one up himself. Actually, 1.4k, he'll have 3.7k, so no, he won't. He'll be a FAMAS though, so quite a difficult position here.
Looks like it's still going to be contested though. The Shank's going to get spotted out by a scope of that AWP. He's going to be able to find a pick though and shut it down, but with no kit, well, it's only a delayed inevitable point. The Shank will try and just toggle that defuse, just bait them in for a pick, and he's going to get himself the frag on towards Jammy, and the second on towards Samwell, but he has no kit.
Orb is short though, you can retrieve the orb off the bunkers off.
He can retrieve the orb, but the disastrous point is going to be that they can't quite get the round. It is going to be 13-7, so still a developing fight, and isn't able to pick it up.
What is that movement? Why is he trying to my goodness. So, bit of a bot play there from Shanks. I can say that I'm good friends with him. And means there will be no AWP, and an AWP on overpass is very, very important. But still, Nuki now with his AWP and 4 AKs here will be the eco here from Barrage. I'd say Mirage there. Looking like 13-8, and at this point, if Impulse can take another buy round, this could be 10-13. We could be seeing a mirror of what we saw on the side of Impulse.
Starting off strong as well with the AWP, just looking to really be a bit of a turret, but they also don't want to get too close with that. They want to let the rifles do most of the work. You don't want to lose the AWP. I don't think Impulse can really kind of mess around too much. Every single round is important, economics less so. Jammy, you gotta get that frag on towards Neto, and it, fairly cut and dry at this point. Not even going to lose a single person up until Petto is at least going to sink his teeth into Jammy, but that is only just one frag, which at the end of the day is not the be end of life. It's not the second coming. What it is though is another round on the board, 13-8. And one huge point, a very, very big one, is that Barrage, they're the ones kind of almost licking the heels at this point going, boys, we screwed up here. We've made some mistakes. Now we have to recover from them, because most notably, look at their economy.
Oh wow, double eco. Yeah, I didn't expect the double eco. They're going to be playing for the AWPs. Could even be double AWP here. One AWP towards B, one AWP towards A. I don't quite like that setup. I think the rifles towards B is so strong just for the diversity that you have in case smokes like the ones these players are throwing now. You smoke off, this smoke will smoke off center site and towards barrels as well.
And we're going to find ourselves one Velox. Still just looking to make sure damage is inflicted, but at least almost a bit of a slow ticking poison. But all in all, Snods, I don't think there's really too much to say.
Shank's got kit.
Shanked, don't do this. It's going to talk with a few Cynic, going to spray him down though.
Oh my god, could you imagine? Still, Barrage going to lose this one. I think he's on to the final kill. Let's take a look at the frags. Wong and Velox leading the charge here, 20 kills apiece. Samuel sitting John at Samuel at 18 leading the charge here. And actually, Samuel being the only positive player, Ray 1 is, 14 to 14, fair enough, but Samuel, the only player positive at the moment in terms of ratings, but doesn't really play too much into the game. It's all about impactful frags. You got to remember Samuel had all those Mac 10 kills as well. So in terms of impact, Nikki of this AWP's been very strong. Ray 1 on the CT side definitely got them a few of their rounds that they did win. I'm thinking when they push towards A, Wong, why have you backstabbed Neto?
Just giving him some cheeky love, Not quite sure on what the thought with that is, but you know what? A casual right click seems to be the game plan, as they have done some early damage. But the biggest thing is going to be the aggression from Ray. He uses his grip to get himself that first pick. Plays for a second one, gonna whiff a crucial shot, but gets the opportunity to go for a repeat, find a second.
No way!
No one towards Ray. He is gonna burn away in the fire and the flames though, so at least some value to be claimed back by Impulse as they get that equalization to a 3 versus 3. And well, the question is, where is this going to go? Velox holding in towards Waters. Jammy just going to be the man to jump right into his arms, going for a bit of a leap of faith almost. But, well, don't trust your friends is the lesson from that one for him. As he gets baited out and sequentially taken down. But Impulse, they have the bomb plot, and that's going to be most important now as Nuki. A lot of pressure is going to come towards his shoulders with his AWP, but Samuel taking the role of a bit of a flanker as he faces in towards Velox.
Nuki down the 1 versus 3. Been spotted out with some nice shot there to lead it, but unfortunately for him, Shanked is on the ball and will double dink Nuki, resulting in 14-9. Barrage here, getting very, very close to that match point. And at this point, Barrage, they can't allow themselves to be reset here. If they get reset, we could be looking at... Let's take a look at the money. Yeah, it won't be a double eco, but it will be an eco nevertheless. So this could be 11-14 at that point. Definitely very strong chance for Impulse to bring this one back. Prezi on just a 5-7, could be playing close monster with that one. But enough of that. AWP on Wong, rifles on the rest of the players apart from Prezi, and then 4 AKs and an AWP on Nuki. Strong utility and kits on both sides. Oh, the same boost working against them.
Yeah, great adaptation though to kind of add that into their playbook and make use of it. Velox elevated angle for him, goes for a spray down, but unfortunately can't quite take out the consecutive frag. Shank trying to fill into his shortfalls and is doing it all for him. A double kill all in all for him, hammering it home for his team. As Nuki, the last man remaining in Barrage, they will get themselves on match point, and there is really not much Nuki can do about it. Now we're looking at Impulse Gaming fighting up against a brick wall, and well, it has to be said, I feel like they've been up against that the entire time, and they have put up a very meritable fight. You really have to commend them for getting themselves to 9 rounds, but Snods, I think our journey here might just be done.
Yeah, Nuki, definitely the star player on Impulse. He's going to have a star performance in this round if he wants any chance at winning this, but this looks like a save to me. Then again, 50 seconds of the clock, he can go try and backstab the player towards short, but hello, it's that boost once again. Although Prezi's looking the other way. But yeah, Nuki, they know exactly where he is now, and it's looking like he will be saving that AWP. Barrage's money is strong. Oh, actually, no, it's not. So if Nuki goes for exits here, tries to take 1 or 2 guns out of the hands of the CT side, that could, maybe give them a slight bigger chance here, but zero chance at that because Nuki falls without getting any kills there. 15-9, match point here. Impulse in 6 in a row. We saw at the major, Liquid versus SK. No, it wasn't Liquid versus SK. Liquid did it to Envious. Who was it? SK versus FaZe. That was at 59. But that was Barrage. This is Overpass. And T-side Overpass, as Impulse has shown us right here, is very difficult.
Also, it doesn't seem to be, well, their forte, I think, the first way to describe it. They have done, as I said, a very good job at bringing it back, but there are still a lot of weak points, and a lot of points that Barrage are more than happy to get their hands dirty with and really just try and break on through. As bones certainly are yet to be snapped. Nuki gonna hold the angle with the deagle, but Shank's still gonna find the entry with very quick-witted aggression. Nuki then goes for a quick deagle shot, swaps out to a rifle, and does get himself a drive-by headshot. Ray with just another one towards Velox, which is an advantage to Court of Impulse. Are they going to convert it into anything different? The answer is going to be no, as easy pickings for Wong, and another easy shot for Neto as well. Certainly ask why those peaks took place, because I certainly don't have an answer. But now at least Jammy and Ray, the last 2 left for Impulse Gaming, and they are quite literally playing for it all. Do they want to win this match? They need to pull off this 2 versus 3.
Yeah, Ray 1, smoke, 4 nades on Jammy James though. And once they do retrieve the bomb, they do get a sight. They do have the utility to hold it initially. Right now, playing their hand right. They should go towards B. Are they going to try and do what? Oh no, he's just picking on the M4 there. I thought they were going to go for a Prezi play. We chuckle your nades there and try and force the rotation off B. But T's, they can go through connector. Onto B short, onto B. Barrage, they've sussed it. And you've got one more player going towards Heaven, I imagine, just so he's a fast rotate as well towards A, in case Impulse go towards A and the server's lagging, and that might be a tell as to what's about to happen.
Yeah, real unfortunate circumstance when the lag happens, because it's pretty much oh, here's a crystal ball, predict the future, but you're always going to get it 100% right. So a bit disappointing, but nonetheless, it is going to be the push to come on through. Wong and Neto both going to find the frags required of them, and it is going to be a 16-9 result. We get ourselves a bit of a head spin there, but nonetheless, it is going to be the result that I think Barrage were looking for. They're going to be happy as ever with that response on overpass, and it was some solid CS from them, in all fairness.
Yeah, Barrage showing they, in terms of skill, definitely can match a team like Impulse. I won't put Impulse as tier 1. I wouldn't even put them as tier 2, to be honest, as well. Well, if we're saying tier 1 is like FM, Endpoint, Heinz, tier 2 is like Kaz, the new Infuse, like I'll put them at that tier 3 level. They're fighting to match that sort of like Infuse Kaz level, if you see what I mean. We saw them go 2-2 in maps as well versus Kaz. So definitely on the forefront of trying to make it up that next step, the next tier of play. But unfortunately for them, Barrage definitely, I don't want to say caught them off guard, but definitely brought more to the table than they were anticipating. And our next match shall be Rasta versus CEX. Interesting one there. We'll have a chat about that once that match goes live. But for now, we'll be taking a short break. We'll see you later.